Flight, the dream that has possessed mankind throughout history, did not escape Arnold Palmer. Even as a young man, though golf was his passion, the skies were a constant source of wonderment to the would-be aviator.
My interest in flying started at a very young age also. I built model airplanes, and I remember a friend of mine, we built a large model. And it took us, somewhere in the area of a year of cutting out and putting together pieces for this airplane we were building. And we did it with all the enthusiasm of flying an airplane and building an airplane. And when we got it finished, after a lot of hours of cutting and gluing and supports and putting rubber bands in to fly it and winding it up, and we then took it to my bedroom on the second story out over the golf course, and we wound it up as tight as we could get it, and we put it out the window, and we had to sort of work it to get it out. It was so large. And I'll never forget, I can see it today. And of course, I was kind of giving a pitch to take off. And it went about 2 feet, nose down, and went right into the ground and smashed.
Some men run to escape their fears, while others accept the challenge of facing them head on. To a champion, fear is an enemy to be conquered, tamed, and remolded into an ally.
My first flying experiences were rather than fun, I became quite frightened flying an airplane, being in an airplane. And that ranges from flying with a friend of mine who was a Army Air Force pilot, and he scared me. And then when I first started to play golf and was traveling in a DC-3 to a golf tournament, flying through thunderstorms. And I didn't know or why, but I became rather frightened of flying. And I decided that the best way to whip that fright was to learn to fly.
Obsess, to haunt, or excessively preoccupy the mind. Aviation has become a significant part of the Arnold Palmer legacy. A childhood fascination has blossomed into a lifelong pursuit of adventure in the sky.
It became somewhat of an obsession to me. And in my early professional days as a golfer, I was flying airplanes when I wasn't playing the tour.
The new airplane they were testing it, and they were going to fly it from Latrobe. They flew direct from Latrobe to Scotland. And it was there a day early, and I wanted to see some pictures. I wanted to get some pictures and see the new airplane because I'd heard so much about it. It's a fantastic airplane. So I'm up there with my camera, and I'm taking pictures, and they're sitting in there, and you can see the fellow from Cessna and Mr. Palmer, and they're talking, and I'm still taking pictures, and then they start to crank it up to get ready to go. And all of a sudden the door drops down, and this arm goes like this. And I look around, and I'm the only one standing there, and it's Mr. Palmer. He says, "You want to go for a ride?" And I said, "Yeah, heck yeah." So we jumped in the plane, and I'm sitting back there with these guys, and they're test flying a Citation 10, and we flew to Harrisburg and back. Took a little cruise in the new jet. But he was like any of us when we were kids at Christmas.
I flew around the world, set a record in 1976, which was also very exciting. And the adventure of that was probably one of the greatest adventures of my life.
Arnold Palmer's golf career has afforded him not only the opportunity to acquire his own fleet, but also the privilege of piloting many of today's modern aircraft.
Lessons first, got his first small planes, and then he got his twin engine Aero Commanders, 2 of those. And then in 1966, he got his first jet, a Jet Commander, got his first pilot, and that's when I came aboard too. So 66 was the year of an expansion in both his office and in his flying.
And that meant that I could be home a lot and still be working. And that just became even more a part of my life then, because as time went on, I bought an airplane, a twin-engine airplane, and I had a family then, and I would load them in the airplane, and we'd fly to golf tournaments. And as time went on, I had the opportunity to do exhibitions for the military, and when I did an exhibition for the military, why, the pay I got was to fly whatever exotic aircraft they had, whether it was a fighter plane or I started out flying T-33s, and through the years have flown just about most of the airplanes that the military had. And I also, through golf, had the opportunity to fly 747 before it even became a commercial airliner.
One of the many reasons that people admire Arnold Palmer is that his example has shown that hard work and dedication can make dreams come true.
In 1966, I leased my first jet aircraft to travel on the tour, and have been doing that from 66, and here we are in 96, and I'm now waiting on probably one of the most sophisticated jet aircraft from a executive type jet to ever fly through the air. Golf is great, and golf is my first love, but as far as my jobs and things that I did, I worked at, but flying has been something that I would never give up.